Start. Dim.
Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited, the YouTube channel. This is BGFH and I'm back for a quick iOS update here. I know I've only updated one iOS video so far, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a quick update on the future of iOS content that I'm going to be able to cover, because some things have changed in the very short time since I've updated the last video. So if you remember, I'm using the xREC or xREC app that you're looking at right here to record these videos for you. And as I kind of quickly mentioned in the first video, developers have tried releasing various types of apps like this in the past. And for whatever reason, I really don't understand why Apple keeps either blocking them, or if they sneak through like this one did, like xREC did. Apple likes to block them, and I think what they're really afraid of is that, you know, Apple's a really secretive company. If you follow Apple, or if you've heard anyone talk about Apple at all, one of the things that you'll immediately know is that they're very secretive about, you know, what they do and how they do things and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, when they're working on, you know, they do have people that are like currently testing iOS 7, for instance, you know, in their different beta phases and stuff. And they do have people that'll do that, but they're very, you know, they're very strict and very secretive, which, you know, is understandable. They don't want a lot of reviews and footage and all that kind of stuff. They don't want that kind of stuff out for unreleased products because, you know, A, they're not finished, and B, it's going to give a potentially wrong and probably negative impression to the general public if they see a lot of that stuff because it's not done yet. So I get that. But yeah, right when I was starting to record some other videos for this, for iOS here, I just decided, you know, I know these things get pulled really quickly. I'm just going to do a quick Google search and see if anything has been updated, if they're still in the App Store and things like that. And lo and behold, I would say less than probably a day or two after xREC got put into the App Store, it is already gone. So if you don't have it already, you're sort of out of luck. And you can still use the app if you have it on your device. And if you back it up to iTunes, which I don't like to use, but in this case I had to, so I could back it up. You can back it up to your iTunes library and then restore it to a device if you either get a new device or you need to restore your device after some spectacular failure or something like that. So really, that's the only way that you're going to be able to get it back, because you can't get it from the App Store. And if they pull it from the App Store, you cannot get it through your purchase history anymore either. Even though you've purchased it, it will not appear if it doesn't appear for everybody in the App Store, which is unfortunate. So I kind of wanted to go through, you know, what my plans were for iOS coverage and kind of my channel in general here. I'm going to continue doing the, you know, the regular content that I've been doing, the PC videos, maybe a Let's Play here and there. You know, who knows, whatever else. I'm trying new things all the time with the channel, and, you know, it's pretty fun. And I was really kind of excited to be able to try to start working on this iOS stuff. So, because it's getting pulled from the App Store, the developer is also not going to be able to update this xREC app, I'm sorry. And therefore, when iOS 7 does come out later this year, I would say pretty likely September or October at the latest, I'm probably going to be, you know, shortly thereafter moving to iOS 7, which, you know, I've heard other people who have been using the app in the short time it's been out. There have been some people complaining who have been using the iOS 7 preview build right now that it's not compatible. All you get is a black screen when trying to record outside of the app. So this may change in the final version. Maybe it just might start miraculously working, but doubtful. So basically what I'm trying to say is that unless I go jailbreak and find some other stuff to continue recording, I'm really only going to have a fairly short time to bring you guys some iOS videos, unless Apple really loosens up or another one sneaks through after iOS 7 or whatever. So that being the case, I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things I'd like to cover, and I have limited amount of memory on this thing, so I'm going to be uploading probably a lot more videos in the near future, in some areas a lot more quickly, just recording some of these iOS videos. So, I kind of alluded to it in my earlier video, but there's a few areas I want to cover that I can cover. I want to cover the iOS accessibility, which I've already started kind of doing a little recording of, and that being especially from a visually impaired perspective. Covering magnification apps, voiceover especially because there's a little bit more to it, and just little tips for doing things on the iOS devices with that with low vision or voiceover. I also want to highlight some iOS games that I've either talked about on my blog or other videos, or just that I think are cool and would like to show off and recommend. So I'll be doing some kind of, iOS low vision spotlight videos on some of those games as well. I also want to cover some third-party apps that are great for accessibility, whether they're for productivity, entertainment, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to cover some of those apps as well. I also want to cover just any other kind of topic that, any other little app that maybe doesn't fit cleanly into one of those categories, but that might be helpful. So I'm actually working on kind of putting together a little outline of a list of things that I really would like to cover that I have on my phone or that I know of. And I'm going to be, like I said, it's towards the end of July right now, so I'm going to have a couple of months, probably, tops, to kind of crank some of these videos out, and or at least get them recorded, so you may see a little more iOS content quite a bit more frequently. And just like I said, leave any comments or suggestions, or if there's any apps or things you would like to see, let me know, and I'll see what I can try to do to get that working for you. A couple of quick notes. I have tried, because there have been a couple of questions I've had as to whether this recording app will be able to cover certain apps. And mainly the low vision, like the zoom feature where I can magnify everything on the screen, kind of like a zoom text for iOS. And some of the camera apps. And unfortunately, well, I can record when the zoom is running, but it's not going to actually enlarge the screen, so it really won't show you anything different than the unmagnified view. And as far as a lot of the camera apps, I've tried several of the ones I would really like to cover, both for magnification, OCR, all kinds of different things. I'm probably not going to be able to cover camera apps, because usually a few seconds into trying to record one of those apps, the actual xREC app crashes and stops recording. So it may be due to the camera, it may be there's too much crazy stuff going on that it's just not enough processor power or memory to work with. I don't know, but I'm probably not going to be able to cover those in depth and actually show you the interfaces and stuff. So I will still cover them, I will still talk about them, let you know what the names are, let you know what I think of them and everything. but I'm just not going to be able to show some of those to you. But everything else seems like it's pretty well up for grabs. So, like I said, working on a lot of just trying to organize all my thoughts and how I want to cover all this stuff in a short amount of time before I potentially lose the ability to record. So just want to let you know. And to wrap things up, I just want to say that, like I said, I really don't know why Apple likes to pull these recording apps. I told you kind of one of my reasonings for, I think, why they're a little paranoid. However, there are a lot of reasons I think that allowing an app like this in the App Store would be very beneficial, and not only to the end user, but for Apple. Because think about it, I'm actually recording these videos for you guys. Some of you may be familiar with iOS somewhat, some of you may be totally new to it, and some of you may have maybe used an iPhone but had no idea there was accessibility built in. So essentially, me doing these videos and other people doing these videos, if we do them correctly, we're kind of spotlighting some of the useful features of an iOS device, whether it's just mainstream games, accessible games. Oh, that's another category I want to cover, because there's a lot of accessible games on iOS right now, even for voiceover users or low vision users. So, but we're highlighting all these apps, we're highlighting all these built-in features and accessibility. So, really, I would just say we're promoting their products, and it's only going to increase sales, really. It's like, oh, I didn't know an iPhone could do that. I should get one for myself, or I should get one for this family member, or now that I understand it, I can actually go buy one and go spend more money in the App Store. So, great for teaching, great for tutorials, app highlights, all that kind of thing. And I actually did send an email to Apple. Just go look up how, I believe it's like feedback.apple.com, I think it is. Otherwise, just search for it on their website or through Google or something. I sent Apple a message really just kind of explaining that, because that I was very disappointed with some of the way they really restrict apps and some of the things that, maybe they didn't think of at first, but it's a really useful feature and it would actually improve their product. And I would highly recommend, if you'd like to see more of this stuff, not just from me, but from other people as well, maybe you'd like to do it yourself, send an email to Apple, and keep sending emails to Apple on occasion, because, yeah, it may not do anything, it may not do anything in the long run, or even in the near future, but the more people who do send them messages like this, at least if they keep hearing it, maybe it'll get through to them, and maybe it'll improve. If nobody does send in any messages like that, they're not going to hear it, they're not going to know, and they're just going to keep on doing what they're doing. So let's try to get stuff like this back in the iOS App Store. So with that, video's getting a little long, just a little bit of talking here. So like I said, I did just want to really update you on the whole app being pulled and amount of time I'm really probably going to have to be able to do recording directly on the screen like this. And I do really want to encourage you to send Apple some feedback that you'd like to see stuff like this return, and be a little bit more open with their policies. But enough said. I will stop talking here, and look forward to lots of new iOS videos in the near future. And with that, I will talk to you guys next time.
Stop.